Um, Nicola, I just have to say I'm saddened and disappointed. Yeah, it's like it seems that our customer um, loyalty or attempt at customer loyalty just seems to have got your like contempt or something. It's like I feel very simply like the install wasn't a good install, and in a way we called you back for a second install because it was like to try and maybe fix the first install, which we maybe should have had more of a consultation on, because we ended up not sort of getting what we were expecting, what we sort of assumed we were getting, which is like a bracket that comes out a bit. Because I would never have like wanted a bracket that just attaches to the wall without a discussion with someone at length as to what we're expecting. So for us then to get like a second, like really high, even though the equipment that you're suggesting to us, install charge, yeah, it's just like, it's almost like we should have maybe, we're doing a job twice for something that we maybe wouldn't have needed to do if we'd been more clear on the job the first time. So, yeah, it's just the way it is. We wanted to, yeah, we were just being loyal customers and that. And we feel like, I keep saying that we're small customers and all this kind of thing, because we definitely feel, in responding the way we've responded, the fact that we didn't merit enough to have a conversation about the first install maybe put us in a position for the second install, and then with the second install it's like, the response we've had, which has not been any response. So in terms of a sort of complaint, it's like, so Steve Jobs said about the way he designed things was, he was like, he wanted things to be designed that even if you can't see them, they're still beautifully designed and that. So even the insides, right? So my point being is, we can't see the back of the TV when it's mounted in that, but let's say you're doing you're painting the front room, or you're selling the house. It's like the TV's going to be off the wall, and people are going to see the holes that have been made, and the brackets and stuff like that. And my question is the logic as to why the bracket was sort of offset like that. So when the TV's on the wall, it's mounted and it looks nice and everything like that, but the bracket's offset. And then that's not so much the thing that bothers me the most. It's that the three holes that have been made, they're not in line, right? And I don't understand the installation logic for, and I know it's about the space, right? And it's from there to there, and that's fine. But within that space, there is a central point. And it's like, so then you come here and it's like the bracket's off. Well, I don't know about that, but that's not the biggest deal. It's that all three of the holes that have been made are like individual holes. 1, 2, 3. So if you plot a plumb line down there, all three are off. There's nothing that's in line, even though when it's hung, the TV's in the right place and the soundbar's in the right place, but all the holes behind them are not. So like I said, when we move out the place and the walls are bare, it's like there's 3 holes and these all in completely different places. And all I'm saying is for the 450 quid that we spent for the first install, and then the additional almost £800, admittedly so, including that brilliant bracket, so but a £450 install. So that's £1,200 for the install. And what I'm saying is, I'm disappointed by the response that we've had from you as a company and the installation logic behind putting 1, 2, 3. Every hole is unique to itself in relation to that and that. And I don't understand that when basically you put a central line down there. So I don't understand that. So I feel like we've been let down by you as a company and the installation that we've had. And I don't know how we're going to fix that. I mean, do I replaster the walls and start from scratch? And it doesn't matter if I can't see it. It's the fact that I know it's there. I know that behind everything that's fitted, behind the unit is, I don't know, is it maybe that's the only one that's in the right place? And then all other holes are not central enough. It distresses me as a customer, and it distresses me because even though I can't see it, I know that it's there. And I don't understand the reason for the installation logic to have every hole in a different place in relation, as I've said, to that space, which is what we wanted. So I feel disappointed, let down, and we're very polite, and we're not going to say anything, we're not going to complain online and all this kind of thing. We don't even expect a response from you. But what I do want to say in my older years is I want to at least tell you my thinking. Do you know what I mean? Which I've just done in this little video and that. So it ends there. I will now spend my time trying to work this out and fix this, however that might be. Getting plasters in, I don't know, reinstalling it. But I'm saddened because I feel like if Mark had just come round in the first place and we told him what we were thinking, that we wouldn't be in this position, and then we wouldn't have got to the position where we asked you for a second install, you charge us really high or standard, whatever. The install for the bracket, the Sonos bracket, considering these holes are all already made, the install time for an expert is half an hour, and you've charged us like 450 quid, like a full day's charge. As opposed to going, you know what, this is a second install, the first install, maybe like, I don't know, half that rate or something like that. I don't know, which would still be 600 quid or something like that. But instead I feel now that we're now a difficult customer and we've earned your contempt when our sole purpose was to show customer loyalty because of what you did for us the first time. When Mark was here, by the way, with the moving of the communal aerial and the changing of a slate, and like we were just so grateful to you that we were like, right, the aerial man will be the person that we come to for every other bit of business that we ever have in our house for the rest of the time that we live here. And now it seems that's not the case. So I'll end this now. Convoluted, but sincere, I suppose, in that we're disappointed and in the install because of that. Whether I can see it or not, raw holes, the way everything's off, nothing there is centralised. And saddened that our attempt at customer loyalty seems to have been met with a sort of like a contempt, and a disregard. It's like these guys are a couple of muppets in a shitty wee house, and they don't deserve to be treated like with the utmost professionalism that our company can provide for our bigger clients, our bigger, more important clients. And that's what upsets me and makes me feel the most saddened, right? I don't want you to get back in touch with us because the damage is done, like literally, physically and emotionally. But I just wanted to let you know our genuine feedback and thoughts on the matter. And don't worry, it's like we're not going to put this online and put the aerial man let us down and all this kind of stuff, which we have the power to do in this society that we live in now, but we're not those kind of people. But we are the kind of people who are polite, and you know what? It's like, I'm telling you what I think, which is going outside of my politeness comfort zone. But I feel if you don't, you're just going to continue to meet people who treat you, companies, with disregard and contempt. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what we've earned. And it saddens us because that was the absolute opposite of our intention. We wanted to say thank you by always coming to you guys. Even if it's small, but maybe 5 small jobs. You know what I mean? And for you guys, it's like, oh, it'll be the easiest thing in the world. It's like, well, if it's the easiest thing in the world, why couldn't you have done it right in the most fundamental aspects of the job, which is putting things central and neat? You know what I mean? So I'm gutted. I'm not going to contact you again, and I don't expect to hear back from you. But what I am glad is at least you know what we think. Right? This is, that's the end of the video. What a shame.